What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Utah Pro Style Playbook in College Football 25. Kyle Willingham, he's been at Utah forever, and his former offensive coordinator, I think he retired or quit earlier in the season. He was there for 5 or 6 years. Andy Ludwig, this is his offense. This is one of my favorite playbooks. It's considered pro style mainly because it has more single back formations than any other playbook in the game. I mean, it just got a ton of it, a ton of plays, a ton of formations, a lot of tight end based looks. If you like pro style offense with running, a lot of play action, a lot of pre-snap motion, and you need a good mix of shotgun and single back, then this is the playbook to go to. There's no one else really to compare it to. So we're going to go through the formations and concepts and play types and personnel, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So starting off with formations, now we're going to have more shotgun than anything else, but again, this has more single back than any other playbook in the game, and I think this is where we need to start. So let's start here. Single back, we got wing tight U. This is a 13 personnel look. Then you got deuce close, 12 personnel. So you got 3 tight ends in this one. Then you start our 2 tight end looks. Then we get into wing slot. Then we have wing. Then we got ace. Then we got ace slot. And then we got bunch ace. That is another 12 personnel as your look. Yeah, it's 80 and 82 are your tight ends. Then we get into 11 personnel, doubles Y off, and then Y off trio. So let's go back to wing tight U. The first thing I always like to do is look for the pre-snap motion series. These are just really good little mini schemes to kind of get your offense going. Starting off with wing tight U, we have a really cool motion. I call it a U motion. You got an offset tight end. You got a halfback power O. You got play action on top of that. And you got stretch. You keep on going. I think that's it for this formation. What about deuce close? We do have some here, and it is our first jet sweep series. You're going to see a lot of jet sweep in this playbook, kind of like the Washington and Kentucky playbooks. You got jet sweep, you got play action off of that, and you got the zone fake jet. I'm going to call this jet sweep. So if you're a jet sweep fan, you're going to really like this playbook. There's tons of it. If you like to do it with the tight end, you definitely have some options here, like you do with that little series right there. I'm going to see if I can make this work at least a little bit better. We need decent blocking, and we're just not going to get it on this one. I just went with a random defense. Either way, you got plenty of jet sweep action there. We'll keep on going. And there's the 3 plays we just looked at. And you go to wing slot. We're going to have a ton of pre-snap motion in this formation. You got your fake zone jet. You got play action off of that. And you got the actual jet sweep on top of that. But then we got more. We got a jet halfback slash. We got a PA boot on top of that. Then we got a split zone on top of that. I'm going to call this split zone. Just a really cool little pre-snap motion with a slot receiver. Get up through here, and hopefully you can just get decent blocking again, and I got it on random defense. But either way, really cool. You're just giving the defense a lot of the same looks from different formations, and you're just really trying to confuse them with all the jet sweeps and whatnot. But we got plenty more in here. You keep on going. We got more play action, jet PA boot slide, halfback power, jet PA power. Now we got some more pre-snap motion, halfback power O. Then you got a play action built on top of that. I'm going to call this play action play. So you see this play action play, we got a curl on one side and of like a flood concept on the other. It looks like they're going maybe cover 3 possibly, or a cover 1. Let's see. Nobody's open. That's going to be definitely intercepted. Either way, they good coverage across the board on that one. But a really cool little series right there you can throw at a defense. You keep on going. We have more play action. There's a slide, your power, and your PA power on top of that. We just looked at those 2 plays. You keep on going. Let's go to wing. We got some stuff in here. I think we do. There we go. So we got more tight end motion. We got a halfback power O. We got the play action on top of that. Then we got spacing. There's plenty of spacing in this playbook. I'll go ahead and tell you now. Then we got more tight end. Look at that counter U play. Look, more jet sweep. This time it's end around based stuff. End around's pretty good. It's sort of like jet sweep pretty much. Just a kind of different way of handing the ball to your wide receiver. But you got play action on top of that, and you got a fake built on top of that. You go to ace. Do we have any jets or any pre-snap motion here? We do not. What about ace slot? I don't think we do. Bunch ace. Do we have any here? Let's see. We do not. What about doubles Y off? Here we go. We got jet sweep. Then we got the fake on top of that. We got the play action on top of that. Then we got a screen built on top of that. Then you got a fake jet. Then you got a PA jet sweep scissors. Then we got more PA jet. Then we got a Y screen. Then we got a sweep X out. Really cool looking stuff right here if you can get decent blocking to go with a lot of that. Really cool. Then we got more pre-snap motion, PA power O with that tight end again. Y off trio. We got more tight end motion with a PA motion slide. We got a zone weak on top of that. Then we got a PA motion post dig. I'm going to call this one. See if we can make this look halfway decent. Got a lot of cross action with some of these routes. Let's see if I can find anybody open and if I can get decent blocking to go with it. Let's see. I'm going to get sacked just close to that. I didn't see anybody open. Either way, really cool stuff. Again, if you want to be under center lot, you want a lot of pre-snap motion. I mean, you can't do any better than this playbook. Guess what? We got more pre-snap motion. Y shallow cross. And we got mesh. Then we got a PA slide. We got the split to go with that. You keep on going. I don't see anything else there. And that is it for your single back. Just a ton of stuff here. Let's quickly go to pistol. We got a couple formations here. We got a 11 personnel with tight slots. Then you got Y off trips to go with that. You go here. I don't think we have any pre-snap motion in these. A lot of the pistol ones don't. Some of them do, some of them don't, but this one we don't. We do got a wildcat formation. It's unbalanced, and you got plenty of jet sweep action, a lot of pre-snap stuff here, or if you just need to run basic, goal line type stuff, you can do it right there. So now let's go to the shotgun. We start off with our first two-back look. It's a 20 personnel formation, split slot offset. Then we get into deuce close, another 12 personnel look. Then we get back to wing, again, more 12 personnel. The tight Y off, our first 11 personnel formation in shotgun. Then we get into Y off trips, then tray, then bunch tight end open, then spread offset. This is our lone 10 personnel formation in the playbook. Then we get spread double flex, or tight end's back out there again. Bunch wide, he's out there again. Tray open, guess what? The tight end's still out there. You got to love your tight ends if you're going to use this playbook. And we got empty base trio, our first empty set with our halfback and our tight end out there. So you go back here. I always like to look again, more pre-snap motion. Here we got some halfback swing looks. We got a double pass. We got an RPO read swing, and we got a play action stutter go on top of that. Now we got more halfback swing. We got an inside zone. We got play action and more wide cross, and we got more halfback swing. We got a motion spot. We got a little triple, not a ton of triple. Trust me, this is not an option playbook, but we got motion wide cross again. You go to deuce close. Do we have any here? A lot of the cadence sets usually don't have much of that. You go to wing. Do we have any here? We do not. What about tight Y off? We got more jet sweep. We got a touch pass. I think the touch passes are a little bit quicker. I could be wrong on that. I haven't really compared it hard. I just felt like these are just a little bit quicker to get the ball off and do some damage here with your jet sweeps. But I think the under center ones work fine too. Again, it just comes down to good blocking, as you can imagine. You keep on going through here. That is it for the pre-snap for that formation. What about Y off trips? Do we have any here? Yes, we do. More tight end motion. We got inside zone split. We got a play action built on top of that. And you got a read option built on top of that. You keep on going. We got more halfback swing. We got a motion stick. We got a Y screen, and we got a stick and on. A little air raid action with some window dressing built into it. You go to tray. Do we have any here? We do not. Bunch open tight end. I don't see any there. What about spread offset? I do not see any here. Spread double flex, and the more spread you go out with these formations, the less pre-snap motion you're going to find. But sometimes you may be able to spot some. You just never know. It just kind of depends on the playbook. Empty base trio. I do not see any here. But again, there's a ton of pre-snap motion for it being a pro-style playbook and kind of what it's trying to do. So those are the formations. I want to go over to the personnel. We've hinted at some of this already. Notice where it starts off with 12 personnel. A ton of it is in here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 12 personnel formations. That is an absolute ton. So you got to love your tight ends if you're going to use this playbook. 11 personnel as expected. It's going to have more of this than anything else. Plenty of 11 personnel. 23, that's just your goal line. 20, you do got one split slot offset. You got 12 plays there. And your 10 personnel, you just got one formation, but 15 plays, that may be enough for you if you really want to get your 4 wide receivers out there. 13 personnel, you do got one of those wing tight U from under center and the single back. And then you got your wildcat formation. And the 32 is your QB kneel, and your 21 is your clock management. So again, it's all 11, 12, and 13 personnel with a little bit, a couple extra things built in, but just slightly. Now let's talk about concepts. Look at the play count. This is a pretty decent sized playbook. We got almost 100 basic runs in this playbook. That's an absolute ton. You notice some other ones down here. We got almost 100 deep passes. So let's just start off with the runs. We have 37 inside zones. That is the most amount of inside zone I think I've seen in any playbook. As we all know, this is the most common run concept in the game. Everybody and their brother uses it, but apparently nobody uses it more than this team right here. And maybe it's just because they got a lot of single back. I'm not sure, but you could run plenty of inside zone from the gun as well. But 37 of them, ridiculous amount. Jet sweep, it says we got 3, but we know better. We actually got a few more than that. It's weird how sometimes they organize these plays. You got outside zone, you got 11 of these. That's actually a decent size number, but outside zone is very popular from single back, as it should be, and like from pistol and stuff as well. But doing this stuff right here is really cool. I really love the stretch looks. You definitely implement that. This is a zone running scheme. Now, I say that, but they got some extra stuff built in. Besides the zone running, you have some power built in. You got 17 powers if you want to use them. Pulling guards, things of that nature. And if you're going to have that much power, you should have some counter built in. We'll check that here in a minute. You got 4 sweeps if you do a little quick pitch. And then you got your 8 counters. More than enough. If you're going to run plenty of power, you might as well sprinkle in some of the counter as well. But don't be mistaken. This is a zone running offense. Then you got ISO. You got 2 of those. You got 6 draws. You got 2 traps. You got 2 end arounds. So you can kind of build those in on top of the jet sweeps we looked at. Like I'm going to click ahead on this end around. And it's up to you if you think this one's a little bit better or worse than a jet sweep. You need decent blocking. We may get decent blocking here. That's not too bad of a play. Either way, they're a little bit slower developing. But again, if you're going to have that much jet sweep, might as well throw in a little end around as well. You got 2 of them. And we got some actual reverses. These are your DIY reverses. You actually have to pitch it off or hand it to the guy who's doing the reverse. You have 3 of those. So think inside zone, outside zone, do some power, and throw in some of those jet sweeps and end arounds. That's pretty much your entire run game. But we got some option stuff built in as well. Not a ton, but we got some. So we got 6 RPO. So this isn't like the biggest RPO playbook in the game. It's got a little bit of some things. You got some bubbles, some glance routes, things of that nature. You go look at some peaks. It's a little bit of everything. You got some like shock routes and more bubbles. You go to alerts. You got 7 of these. These are more alert outs, things of that nature. More bubbles and more glances. Again, you don't pick this playbook because of all the RPOs. There's some of it in here, but there's not a ton. You got 1 inverted veer. You got 1 load options, technically is a speed option. And you got 9 read options, which is pretty normal. It's still actually kind of low, but this is a pro style playbook. It's not really meant to run a lot of option. There's that speed option again. We got 1 triple, and we got a zone option, which is technically speed option. So again, you're going to use some of this. You'll probably use more RPOs than about anything else in here, unless you got a really good quarterback that can run. Then you may want to sprinkle in some of those reads. Let's go to quick pass. Now, again, this is a pro style offense, which means the passing attack should be quite varied in terms of your concepts. Starting off with your quick passes, you got 1 Ohio. You got 14 slants. That is a really high number. And slants is a very popular quick pass concept along with stick. We got 10 of stick, but anytime you're going to have that much stick, you're going to have that much slant as well. They usually just go together. However, this is a pro style playbook. We're going to have plenty of spacing. Spacing is pretty good. I like it. It's just an old school West Coast concept. Let's see if I can make this look halfway decent. Go over here. Going to pick up some easy yardage to the tight end. Nice little quick game. If you're just kind of sick and tired of doing slants and sticks all the time from all these other playbooks, you got plenty of spacing to choose from in this one. All right, let's go over to medium pass. Let's start off with curl. You got 13 curls, so pretty much any type of curl or a hitch, they're going to dump it here. 13 is a nice, healthy number. Mesh, 7 of them. A little bit of air raid in here. You got 7's a high number for it being a pro-style playbook, in my opinion. Double moves, pretty much any type of play that's got a route that's got a double move or a triple move of some sort, they're going to lump it here. As you can tell, it's a little bit of everything. Slot cross, 5 of those. That's pretty much Y cross in the air raid world. Smash, 19. This is usually your most common medium pass concept in the game, and this is no different in this one. 19 of them. It's a wide variety. Classic smash. I think it's got a little bit of counter strike. Yeah, there it is. Corner strike right there. Either way, you got different ways of doing your high lows. You look at choice, you got 7 of these. Pretty much any play that's got a route, that's got an option route, they're going to dump it in here. You go to drive, 6 of these. So this is shallow cross, but the reverse of it. You got your drive, your dig, and your drag going in the same direction. Levels, this is pretty much drive on steroids. Salem, you got 2 of those. You got shallow cross, you got 3 of those. So shallow cross and drive just kind of go together. You got 7 spots. So we just talked about spacing earlier. And now we have spot, kind of the same thing, except it's more of a wide corner look, which again, that's like another air raid concept. So this has got more air raid than what you'd be thinking. Love hitting that spot route. That's really cool. Very simple. You could treat it as a quick pass concept if you need to. So plenty of spacing a spot, just to be different. Again, a little bit different than slant and stick. You got 3 Texas plays, and that's actually kind of high. Most pass or run games or playbooks have just 1 angle route or angle play of some sort. We got 3 of them if you like that route. Let's talk about the deep pass. We got plenty of it in here. 10 comebacks, pretty much any type of comeback route, that play is going to be dumped here. You got 6 Portlands. You got 27 shot plays. 27. Now, shot plays are pretty popular in this game for pretty much in any type of playbook or style, but 27 is really high. I'll just go ahead and tell you that's a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do PA post shot because that just looks sexy. Let's go up against nickel. Let's see if I can find anybody open here. Let's see. Can he get it? Oh, good defense by the safety. I don't think really anybody was open. Either way, really cool stuff. Play action over the top. That's kind of what you do in this offense. 27 of them. You got 6 divides. You got 14 floods. If you need a flood one side, I'm a big flood guy. I think these are just very simple to understand. You got a backside man beater, and you got zone concept on the other side. 3 daggers. You got 1 double dig. You got 6 double post. You got 14 verticals. So all of these vertical plays built in with all of these shot plays, and you're going to go over the top an absolute ton. This is an aggressive playbook, as you can tell. Throw in some go. You got 1 go concept apparently. Then you got 4 meals. You got 4 switches, and you got 1 wide cross. Let's look at some play action now. I'll go ahead and tell you, we all know the way they group play actions. It's kind of weird in terms of the concept side. It says we got 4 boots and 13 slides. Now, slide, you kind of want to pay attention to. All these tight ends that are off the line, you're going to find a lot of inside zone split and a lot of slide built in. You're just seeing that tight end going across, and hopefully you can get it's like something really simple to him. Like I'm going to go ahead and call this one. I'm going to just force it to this tight end going across like that. And I threw that way too lightly. That could have been a really good gain if I'd have thrown it harder. Either way, you're going to see a lot of that cross action. So inside zone split, boot slide, things of that nature. And that's kind of what a lot of that play action. I mean, look at all this stuff. Again, that cross action with that tight end. We do got some screens. We got 13 flanker slash split end screens. We got some RPOs that we kind of looked at earlier. We got 4 bubbles and we got a mid screen. But if you go over to play type and you go to pass and you go to screen pass, we got a total of 18 screens, which is a good number. You don't need a ton of them, but that's more than enough. And then you throw in all those RPO screens built into it. More than enough screens to go around. But let's talk about play action. 74 total play actions in this playbook. I haven't seen anyone higher. I've seen a couple like in the 60s. I think Texas has got their playbook has maybe 61 or 62 play actions. It's just an absolute ton. I mean, look at this. You could spend days just going through all these play actions. That's the whole point of this thing. Run, play action, jet sweep. Play action, jet sweep. Go over the top. You do that over and over and over and over again. 74. It's just incredible how much play action is in this playbook. All right, let's go look at runs. I'm going to go over here. We've already looked at these in different ways, but inside handoff, you got 69 of them. This is what you do. We looked at it earlier. Inside zone is their most popular run concept, but you got some other ones built in here as well. But you do got some outside handoff. I recommend you complement your inside handoff with this stuff right here, whether it be your stretch plays, your sweeps, your end arounds, however you want to go about doing that. You got a few pitches. We looked at those counters. We got 6 draws. We got 1 fullback run that's at a goal line normal. And QB run, we got a couple different things here. This is like, it's more wildcat than anything else, but I just kind of want to point that out. Like at a gun wing, you got a QB zone play if you just need a quarterback just to run the ball. All right, let's go look at option. Again, do not pick this playbook if you're going to try to run a ton of option. It just doesn't have a lot of it in here. Just only 13 true option plays. And as RPOs, you only have 18. You can just sprinkle these in. I would probably treat these more for screen-based purposes than anything else. Otherwise, you're going to be spending all your time doing what you know what's best here, which is running, play action, jet sweep, and the like. All right, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later.